we have to worry about a new kind of monopoly. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Google. It is the magic box. I'm now so lazy that anything that comes up, especially at my age, I ask the magic box. It is a great research engine. However, when everybody needs Google, and it's the only research engine, and it's our window to the research we need, it starts to look like a global monopoly, and it starts to look like a public utility. What did we do with successful businesses that had a product line that was so important that everybody needed it and it was a public good? What did we do in the second industrial revolution with the telephone industry? We, in America, in other parts of the world, we government took over a lot of it. But in America, we kept them in the private sphere, like AT&T, but we regulated them as utilities. And we did this across the electricity utilities, many of the power utilities. We regulated them. I think it's naive to believe that we won't do this. The millennials and your children, this is the new political movement. You're going to be asking the question, how do we get the best out of these new enterprises? But they have to be regulated as public goods in the realm so that we all ensure that we get equal access, that we have some control over our creative content and data, maybe through blockchains, and that we're able to secure our privacy, etc. Facebook, same thing. When the whole human family has to come together on Facebook to communicate with each other, it's a great service, but it looks like a public good. It's a utility. And we're going to have some kind of global authorities to regulate them. Does this make sense? This is the politics of your generation. This is the politics of the new third industrial revolution.
Hi, I'm Carlin. In the words of your Wharton alumni, how do we make America great again?
Let me say something to take this from another corner. President Obama wanted a green economy. He spent billions and billions of dollars of our tax money for a green economy, and we don't have a green economy. Why did this happen? Because the mentality here in this country is all we need to do is use tax money to incentivize, because we want 1 million Steve Jobs. So what happened with President Obama is he would incentivize, give some money to a solar factory here, a battery factory over there, incentivize. But you can't start with that. You have to start with incentivizing the infrastructure itself, which requires everybody coming together. Now, he made a very famous statement during his second presidential campaign, which got to the heart of it. You may recall that he was speaking to small businesses, and he made an offhanded comment saying, "You didn't build that." Remember this comment? It went viral. "You didn't build that." And they went nuts. He was referring to infrastructure, and he was trying to say the infrastructure comes first, then you can create your new businesses with it. The problem is they went viral because the small business said, "No, we create America. It's the entrepreneurial spirit." We've actually so dummied down our country that we actually have no idea how businesses feed off the infrastructure that come from public-private partnerships, government, industry, and civil society. Who do they think created the public school systems so that we could train the workforces? Private businesses didn't do that. Who laid out the interstate highways with tax money? You think private businesses will lay out an interstate highway system with no lights from coast to coast? Who underwrote all the pipelines that had to bring in the electricity, the gas, and the telephone industry, on and on and on? In fact, let's look at Steve Jobs. The fact is that most of the research that went into his smartphone was government-funded research. He marketed the product. But we've so dummied down that half the country or more doesn't want the government to do anything. They don't even want the government. This is the failure of the United States. We do not have a social market economy. Europe does. Other parts of the world do. But in America, we have this whole idea that it's just the entrepreneurial spirit, let the companies rule, let the marketplace reign. This is our death knell. Because if we can't work together in each county and each state with business, civil society, academia to lay out this platform and create the regulations, codes, and standards, then the new businesses come, then the new models plug in. So what I'm saying is, look to the infrastructure, and your millennial generation, it's up to you now to bring this sense of a social market economy back into the dialogue. We need government, we need business, we need the civil society, we need public capital, we need private capital, and we need social capital. All three equal players at the table. So here's what I would say in closing. I know you get frustrated, and sometimes you think, oh my gosh, it's going too slow. But now's the time to redouble your efforts. We all have to really come together. We've got one generation, yours, to lay down this new consciousness, this vows for consciousness. Your responsibility to carry this on is a weight that no generation's had in history. I don't know of any period in history where one generation was called upon to save the species. And if you believe this is really happening, and it is, this is actually the responsibility of the millennials in this room. We now have, I think, potentially a roadmap and a compass. It's going to be up to the younger generations now. This is the digital revolution. You are the digital revolution. It's your turn. It seems to me if the millennial generation is ready to create this new digitally connected world that helps us create peace between the economy of society and the biosphere of the planet, it should be now. And what you have to do is you have to join together in the virtual world, in the physical world, on the ground, in the communities, both in the infrastructure, in the politics, and the social engagement. You got to make this happen. I'll give you one little mission. How long is it going to take for a millennial generation to prepare a bill of particulars for a declaration of human responsibilities and stewardship of our human race, our fellow creatures in the planet we live in? And then you have 1 billion young people in a cohort in Facebook, and they're all declaring this. Then you're at the table. You're at the table virtually and physically, and then 1 billion people strong, you should be able to do this in a very short period of time. This doesn't take a lot of organizing. Then you're at the table with the new potential monopolies. You're at the table with the governments who are purloining this for their own ends. You're at the table with the special interests that want to drag us back to the second industrial revolution. Come to the table. Make it happen. Pass on this legacy so when your grandchildren look back at you, they can say you did the right thing. You helped replenish the planet, got us off carbon, helped show our proper respect to generations not yet here, including our fellow creatures. Thank you. Good night.